When we think of 80s sci-fi, we often picture sleek spaceships, brave heroes, and neon-lit visions of the future. But hidden beneath the mainstream hits lies a strange, experimental world of science fiction that was raw, risky, and deeply unsettling. These films didn't just imagine technology, they twisted it, mutated it, and drenched it in body horror, cosmic paranoia, and dark humor. Today, we're diving into insane 80s sci-fi films that blew everyone's minds, movies that dared to push the genre into madness. 10. From Beyond, 1986, a psychedelic explosion of flesh, fear, and forbidden science. From Beyond is what happens when curiosity truly goes too far. Directed by Stuart Gordon and based on an H.P. Lovecraft story, the film follows two scientists who build a machine that stimulates the pineal gland, unlocking the ability to see into another dimension. But that dimension sees back. Soon, the lab becomes a nightmare of warped bodies, monstrous mutations, and perverse transformations that redefine the word uncomfortable. What makes From Beyond unforgettable is its grotesque practical effects, gooey, pulsating, and disturbingly alive. It's the perfect blend of horror and sci-fi, showing how thin the line between intellect and insanity can be when science dares to tamper with unseen worlds. Nine. The Toxic Avenger, 1984. Before superhero movies took over Hollywood, the Toxic Avenger gave us a radioactive anti-hero born out of pure chaos. Directed by Lloyd Kaufman and Michael Hurds, this cult classic follows a bullied janitor who falls into toxic waste and transforms into a deformed, muscle-bound mutant. Instead of hiding in shame, he takes to the streets to brutally clean up crime, literally. A bizarre mix of slapstick, gore, and social satire, The Toxic Avenger became a cornerstone of cult cinema for its unapologetic absurdity. It's violent, crude, and outrageously funny, an 80s time capsule that mocks the very idea of the hero's journey. Beneath the blood and slime, it's also a surprisingly sharp critique of corruption and pollution, wrapped in trauma's trademark trashy brilliance. 8. The Abyss, 1989. James Cameron's The Abyss dives deep, both literally and psychologically. Set aboard an underwater drilling platform, the story follows a group of deep-sea workers who encounter an alien intelligence living in the ocean's depths. What starts as a claustrophobic thriller evolves into a visually stunning meditation on fear, empathy, and the unknown. Using groundbreaking special effects for its time, Cameron created underwater sequences that still hold up today. The shimmering alien water creature remains one of cinema's most hauntingly beautiful images. The Abyss blurs the line between human fragility and cosmic wonder, proving that even at the bottom of the ocean, we are never truly alone. 7. Altered States, 1980. Few sci-fi films delve into the human mind quite like Altered States. Directed by Ken Russell and based on Paddy Chayefsky's novel, it follows a Harvard scientist obsessed with exploring human consciousness through sensory deprivation and hallucinogenic drugs. His experiments don't just open his mind, they regress his entire being, unlocking primal forms of life buried within evolution itself. Visually, it's a kaleidoscopic descent into madness. Russell's surreal imagery captures the terrifying potential of inner exploration, where enlightenment and devolution coexist. Altered States questions what it means to be human, pushing the boundaries of perception until science and mysticism merge into one cosmic fever dream. 6. RoboCop, 1987. Paul Verhoeven's RoboCop is more than a brutal action movie. It's a savage, satirical vision of corporate dystopia. In a crime-ridden Detroit, a murdered cop is resurrected as a cybernetic law enforcer, a man turned into a machine by a profit-driven corporation. But as RoboCop's memories resurface, his humanity fights back against the system that enslaved him. Blending hyper-violence with razor-sharp commentary, RoboCop takes aim at greed, consumerism, and the dehumanization of technology. Its grim humor and shocking brutality make it one of the smartest and most influential sci-fi films ever made. Even today, its world feels disturbingly prophetic, where justice, morality, and identity are all up for sale. 5. The Fly, 1986. David Cronenberg's The Fly redefined body horror. Starring Jeff Goldblum in a career-defining role, it tells the story of a scientist whose teleportation experiment goes horribly wrong, fusing his DNA with that of a fly. What follows is a slow, horrifying transformation as his body and mind disintegrate. Beneath the grotesque metamorphosis lies a deeply tragic love story. The film's special effects remain legendary, turning decay into art. The Fly is as much about obsession and loss as it is about science gone wrong, a disturbing reflection of how our creations can destroy what makes us human. 4. The Dead Zone, 1983. Directed by David Cronenberg and based on Stephen King's novel, The Dead Zone tells the story of a man who awakens from a coma with psychic abilities that allow him to see people's futures. While the premise leans supernatural, the film is deeply grounded in psychological dread. Christopher Walken's haunting performance captures the tragedy of a man burdened with unwanted knowledge, knowing too much about fate, yet powerless to stop it. It's one of the most understated and chilling films of the 80s, using science fiction not for spectacle, but to explore the curse of foresight and the moral weight of destiny. 3. Critters, 1986. If Gremlins had fangs, more gore, and a punk attitude, you'd get Critters. These alien furballs crash land on Earth and terrorize a small town, devouring everything in sight. It's campy, chaotic, and irresistibly 80s in the best way possible. What sets Critters apart from other creature features is its perfect mix of horror, comedy, and sci-fi charm. With intergalactic bounty hunters, exploding aliens, and an unexpectedly sweet family dynamic, it's a movie that never takes itself too seriously. Critters is pure popcorn madness, an ode to the era when sci-fi could still be wild and fun. 2. Communion, 1989. Based on author Whitley Strieber's supposedly true experiences, Communion is one of the strangest and most unsettling alien abduction films ever made. Christopher Walken stars as Strieber himself, tormented by vivid dreams and encounters with otherworldly beings. Rather than focusing on action or horror, Communion explores the psychological toll of trauma and belief. The alien designs are bizarre, equal parts eerie and surreal, and Walken's unpredictable performance makes every scene uncomfortable in the best way. It's a film about the blurry line between reality, paranoia, and transcendence, leaving audiences both baffled and fascinated. 1. Leviathan, 1989. At the top of our list lies Leviathan, a deep-sea nightmare that combines the claustrophobia of The Thing with the tension of Alien. Set aboard an underwater mining facility, the crew discovers a sunken Soviet ship and a mutagenic virus that turns humans into grotesque monsters. The film's atmosphere is dense with dread, amplified by its moody lighting and eerie underwater setting. The practical effects deliver monstrous transformations that are both disgusting and mesmerizing. Leviathan may not have broken box office records, but it remains a perfect example of 80s sci-fi horror where isolation, mutation, and human greed collide beneath the crushing weight of the ocean.
7 minutes to implosion.
If you enjoyed this journey into the hidden corners of cinema, don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment sharing your thoughts, and most importantly, subscribe to Cinemira for more strange, forgotten, and fascinating films. Your support keeps this adventure alive. And trust me, there's so much more to discover together.